How do you know a tour is actually green? Think about it. You're browsing online, looking for that perfect getaway, and boom, words like eco-friendly or sustainable are just splashed all over the page. But how do you know if it's real or just a clever marketing trick? This is the massive, pervasive problem of greenwashing. I mean, it's pretty easy to just slap a picture of a leaf on a website, right? But it's way harder to do the actual work behind the scenes.
So, the crucial point is, true sustainability requires transparency. It's the ultimate antidote. A tour operator absolutely cannot just claim to be ethical behind closed doors anymore. They've got to actively measure their impacts, share that data publicly, and really bring all their stakeholders along for the ride.
Okay, looking at today is the Global Sustainable Tourism Council, or GSTC Criterion A3. It's all about reporting and communication. Now, this sits right under Pillar A, which is sustainable management. Think of Pillar A as the absolute bedrock of a company's organizational health. So Criterion A3, that's essentially the rulebook. It demands operators actively measure their impacts, publicly share that data, and engage their stakeholders. Basically, before a company can go around bragging about its green initiatives, it has to prove it has the actual systems in place to track and share its progress honestly, no shortcuts.
So the main rule here is that an organization must make regular, credible reports on its sustainability performance completely available to the public. For tour operators, this is totally where the rubber meets the road. It means taking all those vague marketing buzzwords and throwing them out the window, replacing them with quantified hard data, usually published every 1 or 2 years. Just as an example, an operator has to track things like the total greenhouse gas emissions generated by their buses, their boats, internal flights, the whole shebang. And then they have to set clear year-over-year reduction targets. They literally have to show us the math.
And this brilliantly illustrates how that hard data comes into play. By breaking down the exact percentage of a tour budget spent on locally owned accommodations, family-run restaurants, and indigenous guides versus, outside expenses, operators provide actual proof. This kind of transparency guarantees your tourism dollars are legitimately staying in the community you're visiting, rather than just leaking out to massive international corporations.
Or hey, how about waste metrics? Imagine reading a report that says, "We eliminated 50,000 single-use water bottles this year by installing filtration systems in our support vehicles." I mean, wow, right? That is a real measurable impact. It's not just a fluffy claim that they care about the environment. It is a hard, concrete number that proves it. And honestly, that is exactly what Indicator A3A is all about.
The underlying rule here is that true sustainability is a collaborative, shared journey. An operator has to explicitly invite consumers, suppliers, and community partners to support their efforts. I want you to imagine booking a tour and receiving a guest code of conduct that says, "Join us in preserving the Shuangbana Reef. Please use reef-safe sunscreen and bring a reusable water bottle for our daily refills." Notice how that is a totally actionable, positive instruction? It's not just a scolding list of restrictions, it's a genuine invitation to be part of the solution.
And great operators actively invite others to act on their data through really specific channels. They require supplier pledges, demanding strict no wildlife exploitation agreements with their local destination management companies. They also create interactive feedback loops by sending out post-tour surveys that literally ask guests, "Hey, how well did our tour guide actually uphold our environmental policies?" And they focus heavily on continuous improvement by explicitly asking guests for suggestions on how to further minimize the tour's footprint in the future. It's just a constant, open conversation.
By putting these 3 steps together, a tour operator creates a literal fortress of trust. Number 1, they back up their marketing claims with a publicly accessible annual sustainability report. Number 2, they embed those core values into daily client touchpoints so it's visible everywhere. And number 3, they turn guests and suppliers into active, enthusiastic participants in the mission. When a company actually does all 3 of these things, they aren't just protecting themselves from accusations of greenwashing. No, they are building genuine, unshakable commercial trust and incredible long-term brand loyalty.
So knowing what you know now about the GSTC A3 framework, I have to ask, the next time you sit down to plan a getaway, will your next holiday booking actually prove its eco-claims with hard data and complete transparency? Seriously, don't settle for vague buzzwords anymore. Look for the reports, look for the communication, and most importantly, look for the invitation to participate. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll see you next time.